It was a chilly morning when a small, helpless kitten was found curled up alone in the bushes outside a neighborhood in Gainesville, Florida. The kitten was so tiny that she could barely open her eyes, and there was no mother in sight. She was a lonely little creature, a ginger ball of fur, clearly in need of help. But she was no ordinary kitten. She was born with a cleft palate and a few other health issues, yet she still had a lively spirit. She wasn't ready to give up on life. Her small body was weak, but her will to survive was strong. And that's when she earned her name, Smush. When Smush was found, she was taken right away to the University of Florida College of Veterinary Medicine. The vets there had seen many stray and sick animals, but Smush's situation was especially heartbreaking. She wasn't just a motherless kitten. She had an upper respiratory infection, a bad case of ringworm, and worst of all, she couldn't eat on her own. Her chances of survival seemed small, yet despite all this, Smush stayed brave and didn't give up. One of the vet students, a young woman named Lindsay, felt a special connection with Smush. Lindsay had always cared deeply for animals in need, but there was something special about Smush that touched her heart in a unique way. Lindsay wasn't just a student, she also helped run Helping Hands Pet Rescue as the cat coordinator. With her experience, Lindsay believed that with the right care, Smush had a chance to survive. Shannon Jackson, who worked with Lindsay, remembered when Lindsay decided to help Smush. Lindsay just couldn't leave her, Shannon said. She knew Smush needed more than just medical care. She needed love, constant attention, and someone who would fight for her. So Lindsay took Smush home. The road ahead would be tough, but Lindsay was determined to do everything she could for the kitten. She set up a routine to feed Smush every few hours because Smush couldn't eat by herself. Lindsay used a syringe to feed her kitten formula, waking up in the middle of the night to make sure Smush was fed, cleaned, and comforted. It was hard work, but every time Smush looked at her with those trusting eyes, Lindsay knew it was worth it. Caring for Smush wasn't easy. Along with her eating issues, her ringworm needed constant treatment. Ringworm is a contagious skin infection, and Smush's case was serious. Lindsay had to bathe her several times a week in medicated shampoo. Bathing a small kitten is tricky, but Smush never resisted. She trusted Lindsay completely, knowing each bath was helping her get better. As Lindsay took care of Smush, their bond grew stronger. Even with all her challenges, Smush became a symbol of strength and hope. Slowly, her health improved, and she began to show her playful side. Bit by bit, Smush gained her strength back. She still had her cleft palate, but it didn't stop her from enjoying life, whether it was chasing a string or playfully pouncing on Lindsay's toes. The kind-hearted people at the veterinary college was so impressed by Lindsay's dedication to Smush that they made an exception to their usual rules. They let Lindsay take Smush with her wherever she went, so she could continue caring for her throughout the day. Smush quickly became a familiar sight at the college, either tucked away in Lindsay's arms or perched on her shoulder. Wherever Lindsay went, Smush followed. After weeks of careful treatment, the day finally came when Smush was strong enough to stand on her own. She could now eat by herself without needing syringe feeding. Her respiratory infection was gone, and her ringworm had cleared up completely. Smush had defied the odds. She was no longer the fragile kitten found alone in the bushes. She was now a healthy, lively little cat, full of curiosity. Smush's days of uncertainty were behind her, and after months of love and care, she had become a healthy, playful, and spirited kitten. In foster care, her once fragile body grew strong, and her quiet personality turned into a lively one. She had become a true character, feisty, sassy, and full of life. Her transformation was truly amazing. A few months into her foster journey, it was clear to everyone who cared for her that Smush had overcome so much. From the sick, motherless kitten found alone, she had bounced back triumphantly, ready for the next chapter of her life. The little ginger kitten was now healthy, happy, and eager to find her forever home, and that was when Shannon entered the picture. Shannon had been following Smush's story from the start. As a photographer and volunteer with several pet rescues and animal welfare groups, Shannon had met many animals in need. But something about Smush's story always pulled at her heart. There was something special about this little kitten that made Shannon and her wife, Sarah, feel a strong connection. When we saw Smush's story and how much she had overcome, "We knew she belonged with us," Shannon said. "It wasn't just Smush's resilience that spoke to them. It was her spirit. She may look a bit different from other cats, but she knows she is perfect just the way she is," Shannon said with a smile. It was love at first sight when Shannon finally met Smush. The little kitten, with her unique appearance and spunky attitude, immediately stole Shannon's heart. Smush, in turn, seemed to know she had found her family. After everything she had been through, it was as if Smush could sense that she was finally home. "Oh, she's very sassy," Shannon added with a laugh. "She's as feisty as they come, probably because of her fighting spirit as a kitten, and she never let anything keep her down." Smush's new life began just as the holiday season rolled around, and she found her forever home just in time for Thanksgiving. It was a perfect way to celebrate all she had overcome, a time for new beginnings, surrounded by love and warmth. Smush quickly settled into her new family, which included Shannon, Sarah, 3 dogs, 3 cats, and even a hedgehog. It was a bustling household full of life and excitement, and Smush fit right in. The other animals in the house were curious about the new kitten, but Smush stood her ground. Even though she was small and looked different, she had a way of making everyone notice her. The dogs were careful at first, but Smush's confidence quickly made them like her. The other cats were curious about their new sibling, and soon they all got along as if they had always lived together. As the weeks passed, Smush continued to grow and thrive. Shannon and Sarah loved her dearly, giving her lots of attention. They couldn't believe how far she had come, from a fragile kitten who needed constant care to a strong, confident cat who now walked proudly around the house. Smush had beaten the odds and found not just a home, but a family who loved her just as she was. Shannon often thought about Smush's journey. The little kitten had been through so much in her short life, but never stopped fighting. If Smush could talk, Shannon said, "I think she would tell us to keep fighting, just like she did, to trust the kind people in animal rescues who save kittens like her, and to never give up even when things get hard." Smush became an inspiration to everyone who heard her story. Her journey was shared in the animal rescue community, and people around the world were moved by her strength and determination. She had gone from being a tiny, helpless kitten to a symbol of hope, showing even the weakest animals can overcome big challenges with love and care. Smush's story wasn't just about survival. It was about victory. She was given a second chance at life, and she made the most of it. With a loving family and new furry friends around her, Smush showed that love, care, and a strong spirit could help overcome even the hardest challenges. Smush wasn't an ordinary cat, but to Shannon, Sarah, and everyone who knew her, she was perfect just the way she was. In her forever home filled with love and warmth, Smush had truly found her happily ever after. So, what did you think about Smush's story? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.